Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. We're always sponsored by Sensations Med Spa. These guys do a phenomenal job in Idaho Falls, not Idaho Falls, in Pocatello and Twin Falls locations. If you go into them or go onto our website and tell them that you heard about them from the podcast, they will give you a cocoon wellness treatment or a red light therapy treatment for free. That's all you have to do is just mention you heard about them, Sensations, on the podcast. Go to the idahobusinesspodcast.com and you can find their logo right there that they sponsor us. Click on that and it'll bring you right into their page. It'll tell you everything about the wellness treatment, your cocoon wellness treatment, and the infrared treatment, and what benefits they both have. So today, people, I thought we'd talk about how to be successful when we're not fully staffed. I'm sure this is a lot of us. I'm sure everyone has this on their mind because we all know we're all fighting for the same employees out there. They're the ones that want to be in the workforce, the ones that actually want to make a dime. We're all fighting for the same people for the most part. You know, the service industries have their people. The office and setting has their people they're fighting over, but we're still fighting over talent. We're still fighting over people that will do a good job for us and put our best foot forward in front of our employees, our customers, and continue to make our company's money. So, biggest thing I would think, and what's something that's worked for us is just being creative. And I'm not going to tell you anything that I haven't done or haven't thought of or used in the past that's helped us. And if any of you guys have things that are helping you, by all means, put it in the comments. Put it in you can go to the Idaho Business Group on Facebook. We have a business group there. Put it in the comments. This is what's working for us for hiring people. Let's work together. Let's help each other, people. But anyways, be creative. Just because you've always done something one way doesn't mean that's the way it should be done forever. Back 2.5 years ago, we could always find employees for the most part. Our positions were filled. No big deal. It was always business as usual. We've never been in a pandemic. Now we have this situation going on and pretty much no end in sight. I'm trying not to be a Debbie Downer, but it's crazy out there. Either be political or whatever. We've got to live with it, and we got to figure out how to successfully run our company. So being creative, and I would think the first thing that comes into my mind when I think be creative is you see at McDonald's, you have their dual split drive-throughs. And I know a lot of restaurants right now don't have enough staff to open up their dining rooms. So the creative way to do it, obviously we got to keep the drive-throughs going. We got to keep the money coming in somehow. But even if you're that low of staff and you're trying to keep your dining room open and your drive-through, but you don't have enough people to take maybe the orders, well, McDonald's, they outsource that. There's a diminishing supply of physical employees that want to work, and there is a growing supply of people who want to work remotely. So take advantage of that in your company. If you have a position that you're like, oh no, we have to have someone here in the office or behind a desk doing it, do you really? And ask yourself, is the position that you need filled? Could it be done by a virtual assistant? Could it be done? Obviously, we want to find people within Idaho, if you can, to be virtual assistants. Obviously, we want to help our own economy, but same time, we got to keep our businesses running. And I'd be hard to think that you couldn't find a virtual assistant with, because a lot of these have phenomenal um, backgrounds and you know, endorsements and everything that you need to make a good decision on who to hire. But I would be it's a good idea because I've done that. I have 2 virtual assistants working for me now, potentially here 3 soon. But they can get the work done, uh, and some of them sometimes you think it's going to be a full-time position that you need to replace, and virtual assistants can get it done in half the time. So be a restaurant and you need a virtual assistant just to take people's orders to the drive-through. Boom, that's being creative. Yeah, there's just so many different ways that you can be creative and think, oh, I've always done it this way, but what other way could I make this happen? And I could still have this company run and be successful. Another way is, obviously I talk about this a lot, but core values, core values. But having core values employs people. Like at one point we needed like 10 people in our Pocatello office. We needed 4 in our Idaho Falls office. We needed 3 in our Blackfoot office. And we're thinking, holy crap, how are we going to get all this figured out? And as we're trying to hire, of course, we're continually hiring. We just were honest with our employees and said, hey, we're kind of in a bind. Would you mind helping us out? And you'd be surprised how many good employees you have that are willing to say, yeah, I'll step up, I'll help out. And we've been able to continue to work and to grow with people just putting in a few more hours here and there. And with that being said, your employees, a lot of them, I'm sure, are getting possibly overworked. And I'm sure there's a few that you have as your favorites that are like, oh, they're yes men, they're yes women. They'll do everything you ask them to do. But you remember, you can only go so far and they'll get burned out. So remember to give them their time off, give them the time they need to recoup themselves. And small things you could be doing as well is throwing small get together, little parties for your employees and family and their families of their employees, just to have fun and just have a time to cut loose and have fun with everyone and just thank everyone for the hard work they've been putting into. So I'm not a fan of giving bonuses for people to get them to come to work. I am a fan of investing more into the employees that have stuck with it and were there by your side through all the hard times. So that's exactly what you should be doing, is investing more into your employees, having little parties, having get-togethers, maybe have some prizes or raffles, just something fun. Like, you would be surprised what a $100 or $200 party does. Putting some hot dogs on a grill and just having some fun with your employees, what that does for morale and what that does even for your bottom line, because you're going to be more successful because people are happier. And you really get to see the true side of your employee when you get them around their own families. And once you see that and you all bond that way, you've got a better employee. You've got a better confidant, and that's willing to work for you because they see the vision and they see that, hey, we're obviously a core value fit. There's non-core value employees that will not step up, that will not help out anymore than they absolutely need to, and that's okay. Like, at this point, if they're still getting their job done and it's a good job, that's fine. But you will notice the people that are really truly like you and share your core values, they'll be the ones stepping up. After that, I would say, if you're still struggling, you still need some people, still need bodies on the ground, look into staffing companies. I know they're even struggling to find people, and everyone's trying to outbid each other for talent. But even if you have to spend more money temporarily to fill a need, to fill a role, you're still running your business. And I'm sure some of you are out there, no, I can't afford that. I can't afford to pay X. Well, could you afford if your company shut down? What is that going to cost you? So remember, sometimes it's better just to fill that need, and to, even if you have to break even for a little bit on that kind of position, than to just kind of close your doors. So just remember that Uh, when I was in commercial real estate, we used to tell that to landlords during the distressed market and office buildings or retail spaces were going uh, vacant for long periods of time, and they were trying to hold out for these bigger rents. Okay, well, how much do you need to pay your notes and to kind of break even on this low location, this space? Because it's better to actually get someone in and just to be breaking even and stop the bleeding instead of just letting that wound open up further and further and cause you to bleed out. So just remember that it's not always best just to try to be as cheap as you can, but you just got to get stuff filled and you got to get it done. And I'm telling you right now, uh, stuff still happens. We're all training new employees. We're all, uh, probably understaffed, and obviously you're going to have people that do knucklehead things here and there. I've had it recently, and you just got to remember, things are going to happen, and but that's still not an excuse to give an excuse to your customers because of that. Don't go out there and say, hey, he's new, he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, don't say that. Just apologize, make it right, make them better than whole, and continue to move forward. Just remember when things happen and you feel like, oh my gosh, am I going down with the ship? And your mind blinks out. What am I going to do? Just remember the pilot in a plane that catches fire, engine that catches fire. He doesn't have the convenience to freak out and to scream and to cry about it and think, well, that's it. No, pilots are creative and they have lists exactly what needs to happen. They pull out that little manual or what it is. I'd love to have a pilot on one of these days and talk me through this stuff, because I give this analogy all the time, but this I love it because engine catches on fire. What did they have to do? Okay, step one, I would imagine they cut fuel to that engine. Step two, turn it off, whatever. Step three, extinguish the flame. There's so many things that people have lists for in time of crisis. So when you are in that time of crisis, you're thinking, oh my heck, what am I going to do? How am I going to make it through this? And you've probably been through this before. Have a list, have a thing, a protocol that you go to, a process that says, okay, step one, I've got to do this. Step two, I've got to offer a call out bonus for someone to come in. Step three, whatever you need to do. If it's something that comes up on a regular basis, you should have a list for that. So it's automatic, and you can send that to your admin team, and they can take care of it. And then you don't have to think about it. So that's a huge one, guys. Just remember, have that processes in place and continue to go forward. And as we talk about going forward, the I Know Business Podcast is sponsored by New Clean, my company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. Obviously, in the service-based industry, it's hard. It's hard to find people, but we're still finding people. We just hired 4 last week. We hired the 4 the week before in one office. So don't tell me that you can't find people when I can find people. But it's because we're hiring with core values, we're hiring with our sense of humor, and we're finding people like us that want to be a part of this team. Yeah, are there better paying jobs out there? Yeah, probably. I'm sure there is. But that's what makes you stick out, is having those core values attached. But New Clean, if you guys go to newclean.com and you schedule a janitorial solution huddle, all you have to do is schedule that huddle. And as we come out and talk to you, see if we're going to be a fit for your janitorial solutions, you will get 2 restrooms in your office, tile and grout, cleaned for free. No strings attached. Even if we come out there and you don't like us, you don't like the color of my eyes while we're out there talking to you, no big deal. You still get your restrooms cleaned for free, and we're out of your life. But we added value to your life. Anyways, in conclusion, the very last step I think you need to make, if you can't find people, if you've been as creative as you possibly can, and if you need help being creative, contact me. I'm not the smartest guy, but I might have some ideas for you. And contact your friends, contact other people that are in the same business as you that you might be able to network with and say, how are you doing it? What are you doing that I'm not? Be creative, open up to people. You'll come to see that people naturally want to help you, but don't give excuses. Don't ever give excuses. No matter how bad you want to and how right maybe you were, apologize, make them better than whole. If they're not a customer that's not a good core value fit and they don't need to be servicing, you don't need to be servicing them anymore or doing business with them anymore, that's okay. But just remember, the last little bit, if you've exhausted all your efforts and you've got your core values intact, you've gone through the staffing agency, you've tried virtual assistants, you've tried being creative, you're going to have to raise prices and you're going to have to raise wages, because we are definitely in a supply and demand issue right now. We're all needing those employees, and right now, when you can't find them, you've just got to be able to raise your prices, because that's what it is. It's supply and demand, and there is the demand and there is not enough supply. So that's one of the ways to continue to do it and to continue to be successful in this market. But keep hiring, put your processes into place. Don't just put, I've read articles as well. People are out there, oh, I put a sign up on my window. Oh, I put a something on my website and I haven't been able to fill this position for months. Well, no, duh. We live in the 2000s. That worked in the 1990s and the early 2000s. Now you got to use the internet. Now you got to be creative. And if you don't know how to use the internet, grab your granddaughter, your grandson, your son or daughter, have them help you. I guarantee you they can help you post a job on Facebook. They can help you post a job on Indeed and get stuff rolling for you. And don't just hire and be done. If you have stuff, that you're always going to need more and more people coming in, keep hiring, keep interviewing, and keep moving on. So continue to be successful. Have that mindset of success. I'm going to be successful no matter what. No matter what a customer may say and what they might do or what bad experience I might have that day, it does not define my life, does not define my company, and it does not define you. So be better than the previous you. Change is inevitable, and continue to work hard. Stay away from those negative Nancy's. Go out there and kill it, and continue to have an awesome, awesome week. And until next time, find your best episode that you love and share it on your Facebook pages. Share it to your friends. Hey, if this might help you, this goofball Spencer Ward might be able to say something to you that could help you in your business. Share that. I appreciate it. And if you want to be on the show, go to the idahobusinesspodcast.com, click on Be a Guest, and get registered. Love to have you on the show and talk business and your experiences. Until next time, everyone, adios and have a wonderful week.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.